is the Make It Happen show, and today our topic is dream interpretations. And with dream interpretations, we are looking at how our dreams can help us with our life, like what we can learn from our dreams, how it helps us with our life. And we are so excited to have you here with us. I see Jessica, Mari, Lori. It is wonderful to have you. And Jessica, thank you for coming in. I think you're a new soul sister adding to our tribe today, and it is wonderful to have you. Okay, so the topic of dream interpretations is a topic that I know a lot of us are curious about because we end up waking up in the morning or sometimes waking up in the middle of the night and having a dream come through that really is quite intriguing, or that it answers a lot of questions. We are looking for you. I saw you in the waiting room and we are on air right now, hoping to have you join us. Okay. And if you have ever woken up in the middle of the night and you are seeing you have had a dream come through that either scares you or it intrigues you, you do want to write everything down if you can, in case you fall back asleep and you don't have time to really dive into what the message is, because that is your angels bringing in messages for you. And sometimes you've been asking a question. Okay, I know for myself, I will ask questions on certain things because I'm looking for information on particular things. And when the dream comes in, if you look at it and interpret it, you will see that it is telling you a story to help you understand what it is the topic is that you're asking about. For example, maybe you're trying to understand a big thing that has happened in your family, and there might be even some mystery around it, like who did what, who caused this, and trying to problem solve, trying to love people through it and help them with different issues that are going on in their life. And so if you watch the movie, a lot of the times it's like a parable or an analogy. So they might have different players that come through your dream. They might not be the same exact people that are in your family tree. But if you look at it, it has a lot of relevance to do with exactly what is going on in your family life. So if you look at it and go, okay, could this relate to my, if that's the question you have, something that's going on in your family, could this relate to my family? And is this maybe that person represents my mom, that person represents my dad, that person represents my brother, and that one represents my sister, for example. And then you look at the storyline, and if it really relates to a question you have had that you have been trying to seek wisdom or guidance on, you might have been told the answer through a parable. That's a huge breakthrough. So if you're taking notes today on dream interpretations, write that down, that there is always a parable behind these messages. Now, other times you might be getting information on like a premonition of what's to be, like what is coming up in your life. So if you start to look at that message and say, what is divine trying to tell me with this message? Or what are my angels trying to get over to me, or my ancestors that are already in heaven? Because if they have been trying to get the message to you in other ways and it hasn't been working, oftentimes it will come in a dream because there's a storyline coming to your higher self. The answer is coming through. And sometimes we don't get quiet enough to really listen or pay attention because we're so busy. We have so much going on in our life. and we need to like quiet down, settle down to really be able to listen. So what I'd like to share with you is, don't underestimate the fact that these are messages coming in for you. Don't underestimate the fact that the dream might be an exact answer to the question, the big burning question that you have in your life right now. So keep in mind that that might be the only way that your ancestors in heaven are getting the messages to you. They also might not know how to, I know this is going to sound crazy, but they might not know how to get messages to you, like by coming in a cardinal. Oftentimes, if you see the bird out your window, like a cardinal or a blue jay, that is your ancestors in heaven. But that's not always going to be able to tell you the storyline. That's just like a visitation from them, like, hi, I'm here. But if they want to take it further, and you're not super good at maybe clairvoyance or clairaudience or clairsentience or claircognizance, you're not maybe really developed yet in that area where you can get the message if they send it to you, like through auditory, through your ears, or through your gut feeling, like in your you can just feel it in your gut sometimes. Well, if they're not super good at getting it to you that way, then it may come in a dream. And you want to not take it lightly. And now sometimes we get dreams that are really frightening, right? And if it doesn't relate to anything going on in your life, just ask if it's an answer to something that's going on in the world, because you might have been watching the world news, trying to sort out who did what because there's an investigation going, trying to find out what is going on with a crime that happened, or they're maybe searching for a person or something like that. For me personally, I have had dreams come through that tell the answers to the crime. And when I sort it all out, I'm like, okay, I saw this, I saw this, I saw this. It actually matches up with, because I've been following the story as they've been searching for this particular person. And sure enough, lo and behold, after I piece it together and they find out like who did what in the crime, it has been the answer. Now, because that doesn't come to me all the time on every topic, I don't, I don't suggest that I can get an answer for somebody or for, a criminal investigation through a dream, because it's random. I think it's really based on if God is asking me to pray about it, because normally I will ask, well, what do I do with this information? I'm certainly, what am I going to do? Call people up and go, oh, I had a dream about this and this is what happened. So what I do instead is I pray over it, ask for prayer coverage. Of course, I've already been praying before that happened for the people that are involved and things that are going on, trying to bring protection into a situation, into a particular family that's going through a really hard time. And I do that for a lot of you guys too, all my clients and colleagues. I might get an email. I might not even have time to return it because I have so many people that I take care of in our academy and our agency, clients, students, colleagues. And so even if you didn't get a response to an email, I have been praying for you and asking for intercession, divine mercy, divine grace in your life. And I do the same thing for those that show up in my dreams. So a lot of people say, well, what do I do with my dream? That's the next thing that I would want to talk about for dream interpretations. Not only interpreting it, but then interpreting what you're supposed to do with the information. So reach out and just get quiet with God for a few minutes and go, what should I do about this? And I'm like, should I call the authorities? Should I tell them? And usually it's like, no, this has already happened, but pray for the family, because prayers do work. And when you ask for prayer intercession, you can help to improve matters for the family members, help them to bring in more peace and calm and tranquility, help them to get through a rough time with ease, joy, and grace. So that's the type of thing that we do when we get a dream, and it lets us know what's going on. I'll give you an example. I had a dream once, and it came through that my mother was passing away, and I was completely freaked out by it. It was actually a bit ago. I think probably more like 6 years ago. And I had asked God, what do I do with this information? And I was told, just go over to her house, knock on the door, tell her you love her, because she's in a bad way, and, get her attention. She doesn't always want to talk to people when she's not doing well, but just, stop over, let her know that you're there for her and that you love her, and that you can, give her a hug, tell her that you're praying for her, and that will help. So I did that. She wasn't too happy about it because I told her that I had a dream, and that made her upset that her her ancestors in heaven and God had tattled on her and told her eldest daughter that she was in a bad way. But I do believe it saved her in a big way too. I believe it helped her. So you have to ask, and then sometimes you might not get greeted with the happiest response. You might do what God asks you to do, and you're acting maybe as a earth angel from God to help a situation, but don't expect that everybody will be glad that you are helping them, because they don't always like it when God or their angels in heaven or the ancestors are tattling on them. But you might have to do it anyway, even though it's not met with oh, it's so great to have you know that I'm not doing well right now. And we try to be gentle, and we try to be loving and do the right thing and be compassionate. Sometimes doing the right thing is not comfortable. So that's the next thing I wanted to share with dream interpretations. Now, another example of dream interpretations is sometimes you see a dream, you watch it, and you're like, what in the world is this all about? And you're like, how could this relate to anything that's going on with me personally or my family, or something going on in the world? And if you actually take it as that this does definitely relate to something, and you make it a point to take some time to think about it, you'll find it. I think most of us just don't take any time. So my biggest advice to you is take a little bit of time with it, even if it's like at bedtime when you're relaxing the next, like that night. Maybe you woke up with it, but you didn't have any time because you had to race off, take care of the kids, get them to school, get to work, do everything you need to do at work, hurry up, get home, make dinner, feed them, get them to bed. And then you finally, you might have your first moment of thinking that might be 12 hours later or more or longer. But take your notebook out, sit down and write down, and maybe having told somebody about your dream, if you have a friend that you trust, and tell them about it, they can help you sort through it. If you've got a confidant, like somebody that you talk to that you can trust, talking it out loud. But if you don't, and you don't want to share it, did you know you can pick up your cell phone and you can talk into your recorder? And if you talk into the recorder of your phone and tell the story of what the dream was, then you can actually sort it out by hearing yourself talk. And I find that when we put the recorder on, we do better at talking out loud to hear ourselves talk, and we problem solve that way. So sometimes the conversation just has to happen with yourself. And I watched a movie recently where the grandma was trying to get her grandson on track because he had gotten the wrong friends, and they were starting to get him into trouble, and he was starting to turn into a bad kid. So she told him, listen here now. You get rid of those friends of yours. They're not friends. They're leading you down the wrong path. And then he goes, well, then who am I going to talk to? And she said, you, yourself, and you. I talk to me, myself, and I, and it works out just great. So I do recommend that if you don't feel comfortable sharing this information, do it that way. And the other one is talk to your angels and guides and talk to God about it. I mean, that has been my saving grace in life, is being able to get quiet and talk and have time to talk to God. But I do advise, don't just talk, listen too. So they always say praying is talking to God, meditation is listening to God. And I would get quiet and say, okay, I had a dream the other night and blah 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 happened. And sometimes they're really weird and they can be kind of frightening, like I said earlier. And then just say, what does this all mean? I know that it could potentially be giving me a premonition for my future in my career or in my business. I'm seeing myself, and maybe you saw yourself, or maybe you saw somebody and it wasn't you, doing something really phenomenal and wonderful. And you're like, am I being told that that is something that I can do in the future if I start taking steps toward that? Maybe you saw yourself speaking on a big stage with a lot of people in the audience, for instance. You can ask Divine, are you guiding me that this could be me if I start getting some training and some practice, and maybe join a course on how to be a public speaker? And you might get an answer of yes, because maybe you've been pondering, like, what is my next career move? What is my next business? What's the next thing I need to do to really bring in money? And that might be a suggestion coming in from Divine. So really get curious. And then sometimes we don't get very many dreams at all. And then we have a dry spell and there's nothing. And then all of a sudden, the dry spell kind of comes to a completion, and the first dream comes in that you have had in a long time. Really take note of that. That is supposed to be a wake-up call to you. And it might be a warning. You might be getting a warning that if you don't, that your life is headed for tragedy, or if you keep, being friends with this person, or if you keep tangling with this group of people or whatnot. Like, it might be telling you you're on the wrong track. Now, if you aren't quite sure how to interpret your dream, you'd want to talk to a professional. I can do that for you. I am able to look at your dreams, get the information, tell you what it is trying to tell you, give you the meaning behind it. And a session, might only need to be, if it's just like a shorter dream, it's not like a huge deal. It might only need to be 15 minutes. Potentially, if it's a little bit of a bigger deal and it's got you shooken up and you're kind of freaked out over it because it was more like a nightmare, you might need 30 minutes or an hour. So if you're not quite sure, when you reach out to me, you can go ahead and go to my website, CamilleConti.com. And then you can go into the shop page and you can set up a 30-minute or a 1-hour session. And you can also go in and go to the contact us page and send me over, I need a reading, but I'm not quite sure how much time I need. I don't know if I need an hour, 30 minutes. What do you recommend? I had a dream about blah, 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 and I'm trying to understand it. And then I would just tap in with Divine and ask, like, how much work is involved with this for the person that's reaching out to me, and I'll get the answer for you. So go to CamilleConti.com if you would like to get a dream interpretation professionally done for you, and we will record it, as well as I will do automatic writing and write the notes down for you as well. Now, if you would like to get super great at doing your own, then you would want to take our psychic medium development workshop. And that is right on my website as well at CamilleConti.com. You'll see 3-day psychic medium development workshop. You can go right in there. It's on special right now. And all the classes are already recorded in there. So the moment you purchase it, for $297, the regular price is $997. And we're in our introductory offer for $297. You will get the onboarding email. You will get access to the 12 steps script on how to perform a psychic medium reading and healing for yourself or other people. And you'll be able to print it out and read it. And it works incredibly well. It's my proven formula that I have been using for over 15 years. And then you can watch the recorded videos of training on how to do it. And then you can choose a date of when the next live workshop is coming up that you can attend if you would like to. And then when you attend, you'll be able to practice with each other in the breakout rooms after I do the training. So it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday from 1 to 3 p.m. EST. And if you're like, well, I really want to get in shape, I need a whole life makeover, I want to release weight, and I want to get balanced in my life, we have a spiritual exercising workout club now. It's Body, Mind, Spirit workout sessions, Club AIG, Ass in Gear. And that is Tuesdays and Friday mornings at 5 a.m. Yes, 5 to 6 a.m. for 1 hour. And we do praying together, meditation, self-hypnosis, self-affirmations, and working out. I lead you in psychic yoga, intuitive stretching, neuro rocking, and ecstatic dancing. And we work on cleansing and clearing and unblocking the chakras. So we work on the root chakra, the plexus, solar plexus chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra, opening up, unblocking, and it helps you with your health and your wellness. So if you want to get your ass in gear for 2025, join us at Club AIG. And if you want to text me at 716-603-1767, I can send you over the link and give you more information if you have questions about it. You can also find it on my website at CamilleConti.com on the shop page. But just go ahead and send me the text and I can answer any questions that you have. Again, that is 716-603. And by the way, we have women from all around the world in Club AIG. We have super fun and it resets your bedtime for you. It gets you doing better at your self-care. It really amps up your life. So I am super happy to have such a growing group because we just had 4 new people add on to our Club AIG starting in January. Our first Club AIG meetup is on January 3rd. Again, it's Tuesdays and Friday mornings from 5 to 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time. All right, thank you for showing up today. We're going to go over to our interactive time. And if you stay with us for the next few minutes, you will be joining us doing free readings and healings and conversations about our dream interpretations. Until next time, and stay posted as our new schedule for 2025 will be coming through with the titles and the dates of all of our shows very soon. So just keep watching for the updates on our titles and have a great rest of your day.